If you could do the karakia, please.
Tēnā tātou katoa. E mihi ana kia tātou I te huihui mai I tēnei pō. Te pō nei anō I tēnei wiki. Pai o koutou wiki. Te karakia mō tō tātou whenua. O tō tātou tūpuna. Tēnā tātou. Unuhia, unuhia. Unuhia ki te uru tapanui. Kia wātia, kia māma. Te ngā kou te tinana. Te wairu e te ara takata. Koe rā e rongo. Whakairi ake ki runga kia tina. Haungi e hui e. Tāiki e.
Oh, ka pai. More numbers, but we're just going to keep going. Thank you, Trevor, for doing our karakia for tonight. So, from the things still left to do from last Sunday's hui, I made contact with Shane Karaya. We have not yet had a reply back asking if he or they did the different reports. So we'll need feedback from the whānau about where they want to go from there. Just need some feedback from you shortly, Trevor, about making contact with Haupai around getting someone from the office in Papakura to do our Te Ao Māori and Pākehā ecological reports. Haven't heard anything back from the logo branding as yet, so I just want to check that flyers actually went out. People got the news about what we're actually up to. And the last thing from last week's hui was, anyone have they got any interest from any of the whānau to actually participate to be nominated in the upcoming hui ātau for Te Hirere Trust for the land. And it's a brief update from the last week's hui. So I'll hand it over to you, Trevor. Can you give us some feedback on, you know, what Haupai said? Do I or anyone else need to go to the Papakura office and ask directly? Just let us know. Over to you now, Trevor.
Oh, Haupai. Tēnā kōrua. I haven't actually asked. I haven't actually asked Haupai directly in terms of our next step or where they are at in terms of applications or to Ngāti Tamaoho. Maybe I need to go only because he's probably bogged down with a lot of paukai kaupapa a te rātou. So I didn't want to be too intrusive. And I suppose you got to carefully navigate your way through without being hoha, and then they end up striking you off their list and sort of thing like that. So I'll endeavour to find out this week about their maybe their office and then sort of maybe a direct rather than because he's so busy, maybe a more direct line to the trust in terms of what we are able to, if we're able to, and how to go about that. Whānau. Aroha mai. Hopefully we can get some a better outcome maybe through that channel. I'll even message the cousin and ask her if that might be a better outcome for us. Kushla. Yeah. See how we go with that.
Couple, thank you for that update. Yeah, just let me know if there's anything that I need to actually do as well, so I can get it done, so we can keep moving forward. You know, especially since it's getting close to Christmas.
Yeah, that's another thing. Everyone's getting things organised for Christmas. So, but we'll just, I will endeavour to put a bit of pushback in that area. As a side note, I'll leave that up to you. Any other corridor, I'll leave that to one side.
Has any of the, I know that Nariwai or Auntie Koshra had said that when she was going to corridor with one of the nephews about coming on board to, for the upcoming Hui Tau for Te Hirere Trust. So it's really important if we just touch with the whānau, anyone that has possible skills that can help them move in the right direction, because they need that, and also to make sure that the numbers that are sitting on the trust are even and not lopsided from just one whānau. So that's really, really important that there's representation from all of the different whānau underneath the the tupuna of Ngā Uripatimutanga or Te Manuhaka. So we've got to keep stressing that. And if we can get, a young person to, be alongside one of their kaumata kuia, that would be good, because that would be good training for them to learn the ropes so that they can actually take over the positions later on. Always need those. A pretty quick hui tonight. Is there anything else that the whānau has actually raised that I couldn't see on our sheet for the hui to fill in for this week? Does anyone have any concerns whānau want to address? Kia ora, Kairo. We were just discussing the fact that we've, from last minute, we still haven't heard back from possible project manager Shane Hakaroa for questions and wanting to know what we want to do from there, and logo branding competition and how that's going, and if there's anyone in the different lines that can think about going on sitting on Te Hirere Trust board. If it's a double combo of a kaumata with a niece or nephew, so that the niece or nephew can start taking over the roles and responsibilities when it's time, or on behalf of, through a proxy vote. Have you got any concerns from your whānau, Kairo, that need addressing, or questions that you would like answered?
No concerns. First, sorry, being late, late to the hui, and just apologies for the last probably month or so that I've been a bit absent, and pursuing other things, but always in the back of my mind this little project that's going on here, and I'm sure he's been carrying it well and moving things forward. Nothing really from me. I'm just here to just sit in the back and just catch up on what I've been missing out on. Te Hirere Trust. Haven't actually been around much of the whānau to discuss much things further, and anything really. Been seeing the updates from the messages about sort of what's going on, but haven't watched the lives either. Watched the replays either. So my bad for not having much for this hui, but yeah, thank yous.
Well, at least you're here tonight, and that's all that matters. Because, you know, being involved in something like this, it's about establishing routines and things. I know I'm pretty bad at my routine, so it's just a matter of us getting used to knowing that this is happening all the time, or alternatives, you know, if we need a different night, all of those sorts of things, so that we can get whānau involvement. I think Kitty's got a question.
I remember we did have a discussion about looking at going up north or somehow. Is this a good time to be able to raise it, since this is a short hui, seeing that, you know, Kairo's here, and also, you know, all those other things, just to bring him up to speed, like in terms of learning how to do all those other whare, so forth. Kia ora.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we wanted some of our whānau to go up north. There's a kaumātua up there that has got whakapapa information and kore around te ahuahu, and he wanted the whānau to actually go up and kōrero with him before he goes on his other hikoi with his wairua. So
How far up north is that one?
say that again.
How far up north? Whereabouts is he based?
Around Ahipa, wasn't it, Kiri? Or Kaitaia?
Moiwai.
Moiwai.
Yeah. Where Te Hirere is.
Well, what's that close to?
Te Hirere Road, Te Hirere Mountain.
Moiwai.
Yeah.
I just been back up there in the weekend. Te Ahuahu Road, Te Ahuahu Maunga, the Ohaiawai.
Yeah, yeah.
Moiwai. Yeah, I don't know where Moiwai is.
The All Highway, yeah, up those ways. Right there.
Ohaiawai, yeah.
Yeah.
Ohaiawai. I'm quite familiar with the places up there. Moiwai definitely isn't familiar. Ohaiawai definitely is the area that Te Ahuahu, the Maunga sits above. Also the marae, or Rāwhiti Te Rāwhiti. Pretty sure is another name of that marae. I was just up there on the weekend. What is the name of our whānau who has a bit of whakapapa?
Te Ahuahu.
Te Ahuahu is the person.
No, that's
Oh
the
right,
whānau.
yeah. Who's our whānau who has
We
who has
have to reconnect with Auntie Miriana, your nanny Miriana. She's got the person that she wants to send us to go see. So that will be the thing. And then also we had a discussion as well, Cairo, just bringing you up to speed, where we've made decisions in terms of whare uku, and so we went with that, didn't we, whanema? We went with whare uku, and we have to go up and learn how to do it, if it turns out to be. So I don't know how long that period will be, maybe over a weekend or something like that. But yeah, I'm sure Hinga Kiwaho will organise that with the project manager. If the project manager that we've chosen for the rest of us to get it going goes ahead, then that's brilliant. But if not, then we have option B as well as a backup. So I think that's pretty good.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, so but we're moving slow, but I think the cool thing about it being slow is being sure.
Yeah.
And the good thing about it is that we are all on the same page as a whānau, as a haapu, as a iwi.
Oh, do we?
Good to see you and welcome back.
Kia ora.
From my Wi-Fi did some crazy things there. So thank you, Kiri, for continuing with the kōrero. Yeah, so from what she was saying, the other thing, now we want people to, from the whole whānau, the shareholders, to actually be thinking about sitting on Te Hirere Trust and finding out who their whānau members are that are shareholders and supporting them and making sure that there's someone that's coming up the ranks to be able to take on those responsibilities as well. But in saying that, we're also wanting whānau for here as well. We want to turn this into an incorporated society so that all of the different whānau that whakapapa from that whenua have got a voice. They've got someone that they've actually nominated to do all the mahi behind the scenes. And because we're Māori and we're taking back our own kupu, that admin carry-on thing would be named Manaki Māngai, because they would be doing all the supportive stuff at the back to make sure that all the whānau are actually involved, and they would be representing the different whānau lines so that it actually gets out, because we all know that we have our own, Facebook, we only have so many of our whānau on, and we only know so many, and it's important that the whole whānau, their whakapapa to this land, actually get a say all the time. And that's what this incorporated society is about. It's about providing the vehicle for our whānau to be made aware of what they need to do in processes, not only on this piece of whenua, but on other whenua, and teaching them all those necessary skills, like what Kiri was saying, making it available for a group of whānau to go up if they are interested in learning those skills of whariuku. And then they would become the experts or the tohunga down here for us, and be able to make a career out of it by assisting other whānau that want to learn and build their own whare, for those in the family that can actually do that, those sorts of things, because that's what this is all about. It's about bringing our whānau back, teaching them all the different skills that they need, because within the whānau itself, it's quite big, and we all have different skills and talents that can be used. Some of us, the quals aren't quite finished yet, so we have to look for the other experts, but we want our own experts to be able to do all these different things. Hence the reason for us tapping on shoulders on some of us who whakapapa from a slightly different line, because they've already got those experts already, and just keep going like that. So eventually we will have the same experts within the family, and this incorporated society can actually go, when someone goes, I want a house built, or can I know about this? They can go, yep, these are the people that you contact. This is how you go about it, and everything like that. So, yep. The vision is big, but a few have still got to carry it for a while until they have faith in us, simply because for so many years, the talk has not been the same as the walk. And that's what they're looking at the moment. Is our walk in line with our talk? So don't worry if some of the whānau call you different names and stuff while you're doing this. It just means that you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing to the family, for the whānau. They just have got so caught up in Western Pākehā thinking that they've forgotten what Māori thinking is all about.
Right, colonisation.
Yeah. Colonisation plays a big, big part for us, and for our whānau misinterpreting what we're trying to do. But this is never about one single person. This is about everyone being involved in the whānau decisions, and then we can take it to our board for them to sign it off in the Maori Land Court. And that's the thing. We sit as an incorporated society to gather all the information, to find all the experts, so that when we need to go to the trust board with the information for them to rubber stamp it in the Maori Land Court, then it's done. And we can actually, be on the whenua. kura kaumātua kuia that are chomping at the bit to come home and, you know, be by the lake. And also for us to be back home at the lake, because at the moment, you know, the picture that Kalia or Kiri and I have behind us, where it's all blue, that's not how our lake looks at the moment. It's brown and it's yuck, you know, and there's nothing we can do about it until we're actually on the land. Kaira.
Sorry, I'll just that's maybe a little bit off the track here. Did our whenua, was our whenua all right in their fire? Are we close? Are we?
Nowhere near us.
Oh, nowhere near us. No, on the news we're just seeing whanga marino, so I thought, Jesus.
Yeah, that was like basically on the other side of the hill near Meremere.
Oh, well. Oh, that's still
no.
whanga marino.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Oh, no we.
Yep, that's how much land they took off us. So if you imagine when you're in the car and you're going from South Auckland, Mangere Bridge Township Centre, and coming right down through to Kirikiriroa or Hamilton and over the other side to Thames and the Coromandel, because there's still a little bit of whānau, our boundaries over there. That's how much land they took from us.
Oh, right.
All of it. Even down past Cambridge and everything else like that. But we don't quite whakapapa down there.
What, do we have a sort of an update on the status of Te Hirere Trust? What's going on there? Is
we have not had any updates as yet. They have been very busy. So we know that there's supposed to be a hui ato next month, but we don't know what date that is. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to let everyone know before that, so that they can have a nomination, find out who their shareholders are, and either if they're not here in New Zealand, although we've got Zoom, you know, getting a proxy to talk on behalf of that shareholder, you know, the whakapapa names, so that it's very, very important, you know, for the trust board to have an even representation, because that's where the fights start, is because it's like you've got all of this family over here, they're sitting on the trust board, and you've got no one over here. So what we need to do, and this is why we're talking about it, is to open up whānau to the idea of actually learning, or even if they don't have the proper skills at the moment, they can go and talk to whoever their kaumātua kuia that have got their names on as shareholders, and seeing if they can get a proxy to kōrero on their behalf, always knowing that you know, that kaumātua kuia is a shareholder who has the right to vote on the trust issues, but making sure that, you know, age difference, Zoom skills, etc., they're there to help, kind of thing. So the trust is technically only for the shareholders, but some of our shareholders are getting on, and then they're able to have a young person who they have to sign to say, yes, this person will be my mouthpiece for all of these huis. And also the fact that the whānau, you've discussed it with the whānau, the roles and responsibilities about what does it look like for me to be a trust board member. One of the downfalls of being on the Maori Land Court for a trust board member is you're not allowed to be bankrupt. So if you're being bankrupt, they won't actually allow you to sit on the trust board. It used to be, you know, if it was 7 years since you were bankrupt, then you had a 7-year grace. I'm not sure if that still is in place. And that's why we're having this kōrero, because whānau needs to know the process of what it is to be sitting on the current legal entity that looks after our block. This isn't the only block that they look after. but we're just talking at the moment about this block and actually making the whānau aware for this block that if they haven't got someone from our other shareholders to korero or to be a proxy for one of the shareholders to actually be a nomination. And yeah, just teaching everyone the skills so that there's no gaps. There's always that in training. Ai koro.
This might be more of a question for Auntie Kitty. What is the balance looking like at the moment on the trust board, Te Hirere Trust board? Is there a balance? Is it sort of dominated by one whānau? Is there a representation of old and young? What does that look like at the moment, Auntie?
Good question. So at the moment, just looking from a whānau perspective, because I can only, on this side of the ball, I can only speak from a whānau perspective. Basically, we have more ahus and totos. We would love to have more Montgomerys. We would love to have more totos as well, more hemapors, more Clarks. The more, the better, the merrier. But what it really comes down to, it's not so much all one side at one whānau. What it really comes down to is your availability and being there. You don't have to necessarily have the skills. It would be nice, absolutely, priority have the skills, but you know, if you've got a skill, it's going to go somewhere and you can even learn. So yeah, and if you've got a proxy, then that's better. So like, you know, your parents there, you know, Karo, that's all you need. You just need your parents and your trust, because you fellas are under a trust. You just need your trust to agree. I do hear that one of your siblings or your first cousins want it to be on it. They just needed to get the proxy agreement from the rest of the whānau to be so. So there's that option there. And then also over here on this side, there's we also need people to be on the society incorporation here, which they are forming here as well. So there's two ways, but you can learn as you go, which is really, really good. You know, no one needs to be a professional at it right away. No, you just pick it up as you go. And it's the best way, because if you don't put your head in first, you'll never learn, right? So yeah, that's where it's at the moment. And so the trust is trying to rebuild at the moment, and that's what they're doing at the moment. So that's pretty much good. I can't speak on everything else on trust. I can only do that when it's in trust mode, but this is not the place for it. So mummy.
Yeah, so the idea for this platform is, you know, anyone that wants to learn those different skills, this is a good starting place for them, because we're not needing any proxies as such, but we are just looking at, you know, training people of those different things, so that then the whānau can see what they're doing and go, oh yeah, we're fine with putting so-and-so because they've been learning over this side, so that they can go towards the trust. So even coming to these huis is a platform for teaching and understanding about trust, even though this would be an incorporated society and not necessarily the definition of what a trust is by the Maori Land Court. Kiri?
Also, one of the big things that the trust also wants is commitment. So when they ask for a hui, you need to be available in that moment or that day when they arrange, because obviously urgent meetings and matters do arise, and they need to be sussed with as soon as possible. So that's what that's looking like. Kia ora, I'll hand that back over. So it's just commitment. You've got to turn up and you've got to be available whenever they can. So yeah, and the new chairperson now is Auntie Ali Ahu, so Alison Ahu. So yeah, she's for interim at the moment.
Are we?
And then we have our bank account, and they're going to do other things, make readjustments of other things that need to be done. But yeah, definitely watch out for that space, watch out for that page. But just if those who are, you know, like cousin Kiwahu said, if you don't want to be on the trust, that's fine. You can also be here too. This is in corporate society. It is to support them as well. Okay, so It's just like Siamese twins. We're not competing against each other. It's just working together. We are a whānau. We're just trying to build what we need to do together so that we can be better, not bitter. Kia ora.
Trevor, is there anything you have any kōrero or pātai about?
Whare, Uku, Ruben, is there any, I don't know, it might be at this stage, like, I'd be keen to go up there to pull my pōtiki in with me, because obviously it's hands-on mahi to learn. Is there any potential dates or anything like that that's been set down at this stage here?
We haven't put any potential dates together, but if the whānau has got, because first of all we have to actually have a kōrero with him about availability, but my question would be, would you like that availability to be before Christmas or after Christmas to go up there, if we put it together?
I'd probably suggest like next year. As we're sort of heading into Christmas, everyone's busy organising their whānau holiday and kaitahi and what everyone's doing and their mahi and that's just my whakaaro on that anyway. But yeah, I'd be keen to do that.
Yep. And the other thing is we had kind of thought about a whānau hui, a reunion around Waitangi because of the importance of Waitangi. So my pātai is, would we or should we combine the two or have them separate? Because I want to make sure that the whānau's not, you know, too outstretched for taking up time, especially if they're working on something like that. So Kiri, you had a question?
My question is, what are the dates you were looking at for the whare uku to go up? Just want to make sure that, you know, just in case if someone looks over, we have some sort of dates that we're looking like we're locking in, because I don't want to get to next year and be like, oh, cousin, changed my mind now. Nah, not about that life. Leave that one at home.
Yeah. Hence my suggestion, would we combine it with a whānau reunion or keep it separate kind of thing? Personally, I think separate, but I just want to make sure that, you know, whānau's going to be putting in the time and effort to come actually commit to going up that way. And that does cost money, the putia. And I want to make sure that, you know, people can't pull out at the last minute because they don't have the putia to get up here and then to come with the whānau up to where we need to go kind of thing. Because don't forget, there's still the other kaumata that needs to be seen up that way as well. Could combine it that way if the two going as a one event. So, you know, get the learning of the whare uku going and also have that whakapapa around te ahuahu there. That's one option. Or we can have them separate. I'm not making the decision, I'm asking the questions because, you know, we can lock in some dates now. Depends on how you guys feel about it. You know, so that there would be one. My whakaaro would be that it may be easier to lock in the long weekend around Auckland anniversary because you've already got the Monday off if you're working. It's only a suggestion because it's the last Monday of January that it happens. But at the same time, in 2 weeks' time, it's a possible whānau reunion. So you've got to make sure that whānau can actually attend these stuff. So that's my whakaaro on that.
I don't mind, because do you fellas have a whānau reunion in February, is it? Or January, February? That you're talking about? Or Sorry, I'm
We-
just getting
We,
a
we,
little bit
we were
confused as to.
looking at a possible lock-in for whānau around the Whangamarino block to have a reunion around, you know, Waitangi weekend, using a couple of the local marae here at the Whangamarino block to learn, and also learn about why it's important for us to know and how important Waitangi Day is for us as a whānau. That was a suggestion that we had put through, because our whānau needs to understand the significance of why Waitangi, the Waitangi Treaty, is important for anyone that whakapapas from Te Ahuahu. So that was it. But yeah, like I said, I can lock dates in and put the stuff there and do the things behind the scenes, but it's about the availability and not, you know, putting too much pressure on the whānau to be at the different events. Because some will feel like they need to be at both, but you don't have to be at both. Because if there's one that goes up and meets with the kaumātua and there's a whareoku stuff, then they can bring it back to the whānau, back this way if we have a family reunion around Waitangi. Because Waitangi falls on a Thursday next year, it's a public holiday, and then it means you've got the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday you can go home kind of thing. So that's the only reason why using those dates. Same with the Auckland anniversary. You know, most people have that off unless they're down in South Island or Wellington Way, because it's the weekend before there. Kitty?
Can I make a suggestion to keep the reunion separate from everything else? And I'd like to move with that, because we don't want to be sitting around here all day and then thinking about it. We've done that before, and then we just wait till the cows go home. Sorry, whānau, you know me, I'm all about actions. Your actions speak louder than words, so you either make it happen or hey so I'd like to move with that being action. If anyone likes the object, I'm open to that too as well.
Kia Trevor.
Yeah,
And
if we can have like if we can have to go up and do the whareoku, would be, you know, on one of the weekends, like that long weekend, the first one. So that way we can, the first long weekend, and that gives whānau ma like, okay, look, we can either go up for, you know, if you want to do camping as well, live on the marae, but we need that kind of support wherever we're going, to know where we're going, and what are the costs that may be involved if we're going to be learning and stuff, and getting up there, just to support the people, whānau ma, who are going to, you know, become tohunga. And obviously they will need ringawera, so just being considerate, you know, because they will get kai, they need kai in the sun. You will be in the hot heat. It's like you're in Cambodia up there. So that's my suggestion there, and I appreciate the move. Kia ora.
Cairo.
Yeah, sorry, I just want to talk with that. I think that's a good idea. With the whakapapa one being in Ohio way and Ruben being in Ahipara, that's only about an hour away from each other. From where I am, it's about 8 hours to Ohio way, so one more hour while we're up there would, if those could be combined some way, I'm not too sure if it'll fit on Ruben's side of things. But if I personally think that would be would help whānau, being up there, making that little bit more effort while we're there, than rather come home and make the trip to go all the way back up again to learn it. If it could be squeezed together, I think that would be awesome too. Just a suggestion, throwing it up. Just
well, it's you fellas, we can make it happen.
I second that.
Okay.
I second move with that.
And I'm sorry, and I also think that the people, like how you were saying too, the people who I think who will be interested in both of those will be the same, a lot of the same people.
So over this next couple of days, I'm going to do a constitution for an incorporated society. It will have a membership of, now some people are suspicious on the number 13, but it's a good round number because, you know, we've got whanau, so we will have minimum of 5 people on the Manaaki Māngai, up to 13 whanau members. The reason people are going to question why an odd number is simply because it's the odd numbers that mean a vote can go through. If it's an even number and you've got half and half sitting on the fence, there's got to be someone that's going to be the deciding vote. So I will be getting that done this week. So we will have just be aware. Some of the whānau will be getting a message to sign for this, and it's not because they're any better than everyone else. It's just that we need to get a bank account opened, and therefore, because we're actually thinking about this trip to go up and around the whareatu and the whakapapa, then any whānau that can't make it, it can actually go into a direct bank account, so that any of the whānau that are able to make it to these things but still want to tautoko the kaupapa can actually put into the bank account. So I'm just letting everyone know for this hui Zoom tonight, and for anyone that watches it, that's what I'm going to be doing. So please don't be offended if you haven't got a whānau member that is part of the incorporated society of Na Uri Patimanoa o Te Manu Hākupa, and the board that's taking over it or doing the admin is Manaaki Māngai, because at the moment we just want to get it opened and we can tidy up shortly. The most important thing is to open up the bank account so that we can actually tautoko the kaupapa, so that we can get these things done. Because even if there's some whānau that have put their hand up but they just don't have the pūtea, and there's other that can't do it but have the pūtea, it means there's a place of aroha and koha for everything to be done. Ai Karo.
Being a incorporated society, do we have access to any funding or grants and to support or hui like
Yes,
that?
we will. Yep. That's the importance of a bank account.
What are we?
And a Manaaki Māngai to do the paperwork so we can apply for those. Everything, what's the word is it all sits underneath that kaupapa of having a bank account, of being professional, which is one of the reasons why we wanted the whānau to come up with the logo, and that's still happening. First prize is $100 gift voucher. Second prize is a $50, oh, these are food vouchers, sorry. $50 food voucher and a $20 food voucher. Open up to anyone from 10 to kaumata kuia. I'll have to go back to the last meeting to see when the closing date was. Was it around the 6th or the 10th? Anyway, in a couple of weeks' time, so that whānau can put it in and then they can vote for it, and then we'll know which design it was. So when they put in their designs, they'd give the kōrero about it, leave their name out of it. We would then put it up for whānau to vote on, or those available at the moment. This is just a rough thing. It's not set in concrete. It's just to get us going so that we can apply for these different grants. Because as long as there's no bank account, we can kōrero till the cows come home and nothing's going to change. You know. And that's why it's important for the whānau to see that we're actually doing action. Like I said before, walk the talk. Because before it's all of this, but nothing. Into 100 years of all of whānau not knowing we had whenua to come back and actually live on, work on, and all the rest that goes with it. Because I want to keep organising maybe once a month as well, for a separate night where we have just a 1 hour, no more than 1 hour, kōrero on a different take that the whānau is needing to learn, you know, because there are a lot of your age kairo that are a bit shy about going on a trust board simply because they don't understand what it is and what it needs to do. Hence the
Yeah.
reason for coming and learning on this one, and you take those skills and go, yep, and then you can transfer them over and be a proxy for your whānau over on the other side.
Right.
But
And vice versa as well. So we got a trust set up, and that's sort of where I've got my experience from. I jumped on as a trustee a couple of years ago, and we haven't done much, but just as just being a part of it and sitting in the background, I've learnt a lot. And yeah, the main thing that I've learnt is just being active is key. Being involved and just saying something, saying goes a long way. So yeah, and yeah, so vice versa, all the stuff that I learned, he can take back other trusts and help out where it can there. So cool.
Yeah.
Nui te
the
koe tau.
main difference between a trust and an incorporated society is that it is the whānau that makes the decisions and vote on it. It is not the 5 to 12 of the 5 to 13 people that sit on the manaaki māngai. They don't make the decisions, it's the whānau. The manaaki māngai actually carry out the mahi. There's a difference between a trust board and an incorporated society. A trust board, the beneficiaries and the shareholders send the information to them, and then they decide. And their meetings are allowed to be closed meetings. Our meetings are always open. They're always available for the rest of the whānau to have a kōrero and say, hey, didn't agree with what you said. Well, kei te pai. Don't agree, come to the hui and tell us why. You know?
Right.
Or go and see one of your whānau that has taken place or is looking after the manaaki māngai side and have a kōrero with them.
Mm.
And then they'll show you why we're doing what we're doing. Ka pai?
Right.
This is going to be the workhorse for teaching our whānau the different skills, teaching our whānau what Māori used to be like, how we used to actually live. Because at the moment, we've been 100 and something years underneath colonisation, and our whānau has been split and broken up into little itsy bitsy pieces, and they are very cautious because those itsy bitsy pieces have had words said, you know, the hatred comes through, the stabbing in the back comes through, all of those sorts of things. This is not what we're about. We're about uplifting and manaaki, and that's why we're manaaki māngai, so that we can get the whānau where they need to do, and hopefully get people employed or teach them about employment and becoming their own bosses. So yeah, that's the reason why we want some of our whānau to go up there and learn the whareoku. He'll probably have to come down here this way as well, because the soil is slightly different. So he will then tell you the composition of what you actually need on the whenua, so you're not actually interfering with the aqueducts, which is another fancy word for wetlands, because we have water sitting, we have a water table sitting underneath, and we actually want to return half of that to the whenua as well. So knowing and understanding all of those things, so that come next year, we're just going to hit the ground running, as they would say, and just keep going, moving forward, getting our whānau, our core whānau at the moment, who need to be back home, like the kaumata kuia, getting that structure put in place so that once we're back on the whenua, then we can still go to where we need to and look at the different places, you know, like at Okarea, like at Taniwha, like at Mangatangi, all of those different places that we whakapapa back to and show our whānau there. They don't have the money, but, you know, they can make the whareoku if it's the right, you know, right place for it, because those experts will be able to tell us where's the correct place to actually build the whareoku, such as mess around with the water table and stuff like that. So, okay. So from this hui, I have got 2 dates that we've got to put out to the whānau, is combining the whare uku and the whakapapa about te ahuahu in one kaupapa, one weekend, and that would be for the last Monday weekend, which is an auction anniversary weekend, because everything's closed anyway, and we will make the contact with Ruben to say that we're coming up to learn for that weekend and have the kōrero and the other kaumātua as well, because they will host us and we need to show our manaaki. And then the other one is the reunion date agreed upon by Kiri and Trevor, which would be the 6th of February. And then the third item of work in progress is to actually get the bank account opened up for the Incorporated Society this week, so that the whānau who can't make it to any of these things can actually see there's a bank account to give their aroha and koha through. Have I missed anything, whānau? Play tag with you, Trevor. Karakia whakamituna.
Kura tātou. Kai kina. Ke whia tā. Ke whia tā. Kei no tātou. Kia tātou katoa. O te whātou tātou ariki a Iukrati. Te aroha o te atua, e te whiwhina tahitanga. Ki te wairu o tapu. Ake. Ake. Āmene. Ko Māori e whānau.
O Māori e.